Hello, this is Jackson Aiden's report on his senior project for CSC 499A. That GitHub link is finally filled with things that you can look at, which is cool. Um, so we're on track. Did my 6 hours this week. It's 20 hours to date and 100 hours left. Last week's accomplishment, I spent a lot of time doing database. I said database user integration, but basically I set up Postgres on my local machine, created the tables, made it so that a user could be created, APIs could be generated and saved to an account. Batch calls, I made it so that you can send a big JSON file and it'll return a big JSON file. Caught up on Sped Talks. I watched I just watched all the ones in the discussion and learned some good stuff there. Stuff about Databricks, which was really interesting. Stuff about KNNs and how much machine learning I actually don't know. I'm pretty confident in integrating AI into stuff, but not super confident in learning the bare bones and the kind of brickwork for it. So I'd love to kind of explore that a little bit more. Next week's big goal for me is API key and authentication and usage tracking. So like actually getting started on like, okay, when somebody uses this API key, we have to check if it exists. And if it exists, we also have to check if like the user has the permission. And if the user has the permission, then we can do like, we add they use the API key. And that way in the future, I can integrate it with some kind of payment thing and have it charged. I also learned about hashing passwords and API generation, and I updated Git with all my current files. Getting the exact syntax and learning what the libraries do for integrating everything. Didn't even know there were libraries for secrets and API generation just built into Python, which was super cool. But that is also bringing up some worries about security. If this is going to be a public-facing thing, I don't want to get overcharged personally, and I don't want other people to get overcharged, so kind of wanting to figure all that out. I'm wondering if I need to add more. Because I'm getting this is taking a lot less time than I expected. So if I add more, I'm wondering if the grade will change. So I'd love to have a conversation. But let's look at the demo. So let's make sure my server is still up and running. Look, it's working. Great. So now, so I have a Flask server up in Python. I have my nifty Postman up, and I have my database query up. You can see I already have a user set up in there. First, let's see. This is batch reviews. I don't have any API key authentication stuff set up, but I could just send this batch of reviews that I generated using Claude, and it'll send it to the Flask. It'll come back, and you see here each review has an ID, the label, and the score that has. You can see like the burgers are here are absolutely incredible. This is very positive. And then I had a disappointing experience today is very negative, and so on and so forth. So that's super cool. Then I have another test. You can actually see too, I have it print off just to make sure it worked on the Flask side. Then we have you send in a name and a password, username and a password. And then here you see, I'll run this again just to make sure you know. Okay, successfully ran. Then I'm going to send this Postman batch. Copy this, keep it secret, keep it safe. This is the API key that was generated for the user. Then if we go back in here and we run this again, you can see here the API key, or the hashed password, the API key, and the API usage for that user is set up. And if we go in here, you can see that the user creation was
What's up, lover?
And that's it for me. Thank you so much.